He was? Yeah.
We didn't know at that time.
We didn't know.
Well enough. Starting love mechanic. Okay, guten Abend. I know only 2 words. Host. Okay. So very short to like my experience before. So I'm the executive producer from YYDS, which make the I Feel Linger in the Air and my stand-in. And I used to work in VTV, so it's Manner of Death, Love Mechanics. Okay, so next please, yeah. Immersion, what's the title that really creates some phenomena in Thailand? And I also want to hear your opinions, or if I did something wrong. Market research on what is the very popular content or what type of genre in the market that's very famous. And during, I think that's August 2019. So this is my first research that I.
It's weird.
So we have two, our fan researchers and their fans, BL fans, and also they do the research about Thai BL and also, I don't know, not only Thai BL, everywhere else, right? And just content concentrated. So we want to have them also provide some insight and findings and to enrich this discussion. So this is Josie and Elena.
Woo-woo!
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you guys doing? Thank God. You don't know how nervous I am. I'm Josie, this is
Marlena.
Right. And we're two fan researchers, at least for today. We're from Sabaicho BL, and today we want to talk about the European view on BL. But before we start, I want to know. I'm actually surprised. Okay. Thank you. Who started watching during the COVID-19 lockdowns up until 2021? Okay, nice, thank you. And who started watching in the last 2 years? Raise your hand. So this is very interesting. Let's start off with a little anecdote, because some of you, a lot of you actually, also started watching BL before 2019. Maybe. Thank you. I also started watching so like back in the day, before BL became like this huge successful thing, some of you might know this, again, we needed to wait for fan translations actually. Right? This is where I at least learned what does P mean, what does non mean, right? Yeah. And another thing that you might also know, I would need the video please once, thank you. Sound effects.
Yeah.
That we don't hear right now.
ให้เขาเนี่ยตัวแทนคณะบอกเลยว่าเราเนี่ยเจตนาชั่วเจนก่อนเกิด
We love these sound effects, don't we?
Yes.
But what we also love are Thai BL. But the reason why do we love Thai BL? Malena and I, we did some research and we actually found a very interesting Tumblr post that talked about the reasons for our love for Thai BL. One of them is, for example, that we see a more diverse representation. Thank you. Representation of men. So we have masculine men, but we also have femme men. We have men who wear makeup and jewelry, which is something that we don't normally see in our heterosexual relationships that are portrayed in media. But we also have. Thank you. Yes, we also have femme boys or boys that can cry. Let's appreciate those tears. This is, of course, something that we also rarely see. A heterosexual relationship, oftentimes. Let's talk about how different maybe the representation, or like what makes BL different from LGBTQ+ series, because you've probably also heard this discussion going around. Because if we go into a Thai BL, we often go into a relationship that is full with idolized relationships or like dynamics where we just can dive in and forget our reality, right? But like in LGBTQ+ series in the West, like the ones and also one where we also have real ones. Those are shows from the West where we have LGBT plus identity, so we have gay people, lesbians, we have transgender, people non-binary people here, and also different identities like asexuality, but all part with the fact that they always go through something very difficult. So in queer sport, for example, we have the problems of drugs, of HIV, or also violence against LGBT plus individuals. And this is a very hard contrast to TBL, where we have two beautiful young men fall in love with each other, which is actually the definition of BL, where it comes from originally. As you might know, it stems from Japan. It was written by and for heterosexual women who used two beautiful men falling in love to escape their realities.
Okay, now we'll talk about a bit with the critical view on TBL, BL in general. So, as we said, BL originally comes from Japan, and it was written by and for heterosexual women. And it was basically for those creators to escape reality, to escape suppression. And they basically wrote characters so they don't have to live in the reality. But because they wanted to escape, they also created a bit problematic characters. So one of the dynamics in Tower Type can be one of those problematic dynamics. We have the semi-uke dynamic in Binome, which is kind of representing the male-female binary that we have in our society. And with that comes also female characters, or rather the lack of female characters. In most BLs we don't have female characters, and if we do, they're rather unimportant. They don't. Annoying, exactly. They have no depth, or no depth to their character, and if they are existing, they are more like a hindrance to the romantic relationship between the main characters. One of the examples of a character that is in the series but doesn't really add to the plot, or is more like a hindrance, is the female coach in Twins, the series. And we also have tokenism. So in Only Friends we have the lesbian couple, but they are more like token lesbians because they don't really add much to the storyline. But Girls Love. It was also mentioned from Yuan that Girls Love is now becoming more popular. There are more Girls Love stories, but we see similar issues in Girls Love stories with problematic dynamics. For example, Blank the series, we have a 16-year-old age gap between the main characters, and these kind of stories can show or represent harmful stereotypes for the LGBTQ+ community, that queer folks are sexualizing children or younger people. But we see that boys series like Love Sea or Bad Buddy, they have lesbian side couples. They are, let's say, sometimes skippable. Like if you want to watch the BL, you can skip the side story and you will not miss the plot. But we see a representation, and that's what we want. Like we want to say, like having girls' love stories is better than not having girls' love stories because we see representation. And as also mentioned by you earlier, we have girls' love stories that are produced, that are being aired, like 23.5, and Pluto that is airing right now. Yes, with all these stories, we have representation of LGBTQ+ stories and queer stories in the media. As we have seen with Love in the Big City, we have media coverage of these stories, and it's becoming more important for societies, and they are being discussed in rather old school societies. And we wanted to thank those creators like Yuan, like the other creators that are coming later, that these stories are now being told to a wider range of people. We have mainstream media talking about these stories. And we want to leave you with one question. In which direction do you see the genre and also the production of VR evolving?
Thank you very much for your attention. If you have any questions, raise your hands. Yuan is here to answer them maybe, because we would love to have just a little discussion with you. Thank you.